going on, guys? Doing here representing WGD. Well, god damn. Right, today we're going to be looking at the Apex RDA by timesvape. Now, yes, I did purchase this at the expo. I've had it for quite a while. I purchased it for the reasons of the Dreamer when I had the map, the what coated, the black coated finish on the Dreamer, just to match it up so it looks nice. So yeah, we're gonna be reviewing this. So nevertheless, let's dive down. Let's see what you get in the box and whatnot. Go back up top and tell you guys what I think of the RDA, and yeah, let's go.
Hey, we got them. So here is the box, timesvape. You got the Apex here. Yeah, this contains and whatnot, blah blah blah. You know how it goes. Your timesvape on the sides, warning, don't vape in the bin, and then the scratch and check, and all the contents are on the back as well. Yeah. So let's get in the box. Let's open the box, and you do get the RDA itself and 3, 8, 10 drip tips. Also get a little thank you card. Yeah, lovely. And giveaway as well. You get a cleaning cloth, which is nice, pretty cool. And in the accessories, I'm not going to bother open them. You do get some spare O-rings, spare Allen key. You do get a 510 drip tip adapter and spare screws and a squonk pin as well. You do get another Allen key, because the grub screws I'm going to show you are huge. These are massive, but I lost mine, but I have a spare toolkit that can use the same size. So yeah, that's what you get in the box. Let's put this back in here. Let's put it aside. We'll get to the RDA in a minute. The ultimate drip tip, yeah, and you do get the really fat daddy black knurl drip tip as well. And we do have the RDA itself. Now I've got this one in a matte black finish right here. Come on, focus, you know you can do it. Come on, nice. And I've got this like a purpley bluish drip tip, pretty nice. Yeah, so here's the RDA itself, and you can see it's a pretty nice, I think it's a nice RDA. You do have some, let's get this out first. You do have some very nice grip here. See how it just curves in, very nice. You get a grip to turn your RDA, turn your airflow, sorry. And you do have 2 airflows, yeah, on that side, same on that side. And you can see the top airflow is slightly smaller than the bottom airflow, yeah, quite smaller, and same for that side. So let's take the drip off. You do have the O-ring on the inside as well. Okay, let me put this on something so I can screw it out, get it out. Okay. Okay, so this is the shell. Okay, so as you can see, really long amount of airflow traveling around. So you have the O-ring at the top, and you've got the top airflow and the bottom airflow, so it's kind of cut off from each other. Yeah, pretty like really Cyclops type. Whatever you just on this side is going to be the same on that side as well. And on the inside, it's got that really weird like two-tone 7 color type on the inside, if you can see just about on that area. Yeah, pretty dome shape inside to condense quite a bit of flavor. It's quite wide on the inside as well. Okay, and then you got the other part of the shell right here. Now with matte black, you're gonna get, when you get e-liquid on it, you're gonna see it really easy, which is kind of might be irritating for you people as well. Okay, and you can barely see the logo. It's like a shark, you can barely just see it. And on the other side it says Apex, really hard to see, but it doesn't matter about that anyway. And the shell's quite nice machining on the shell. Okay, And before we get to the deck, at the bottom you do have, it says Nichrome 80 USA, that'll be the person, timesvape CE, don't vape in the bin, and your code as well, and then your 510 pin, which protrudes out really nice as well. Okay, flathead, so you can adjust and whatnot, or you can take out for skunk pin. Now let's screw it onto here. I'm just gonna screw it on. Wait a second. And here is the deck. Now this is quite an interesting deck. I've not come across this idea before. I've heard of it, but I've never come across it myself or owned it. That's the reason why I got it. So it's a really interesting deck. Okay, so you can see really massive. You can see massive hex screws. They are huge. I've never seen this such size in my entire life. And then you can see there's a tiny engraving, says timesvape there. You got your juice well on each side. It's not that deep. It's not so deep. Not so deep. It's quite a really low profile deck. And then you got your 2 O-rings as well. So the reason why it's an interesting deck, you can do multiple ways of building. You can get so creative with this deck here. So you can see there's 2 holes on this side and 2 on that side, and you have hole on this side and same for the other side too. And underneath this plate just here you have your pin, so when you're squonking it, it'll pull out, it'll pour out onto each side as well. And this plate, when I seen it, I thought, I'm assuming when you're dripping through on the top through the drip tip, it's just gonna land onto there and pour onto your cotton and your coils as well on each side. So it's kind of a best of both worlds on each side. But yeah, let's unscrew this. You can see it's massive. I'm just gonna take this out for just 1 second. And look at the size of that. Jesus H Christ. It's massive, massive holes. Now, as you can see, there's, like I said, 2 holes on that side, 4 at the top, and then same for that side. Now, you can either build just the original way, you know, putting your coils on each side, or you can put both legs on each side and then fold them over. You know, like the drop, how you just sort of fold towards the coil. You can fold outwards as well, or, which I have tried before, you can do quad coils, so you can go 1, 2, 3 and 4, so 2 and pretty much at the bottom and then 2 at the top, and then you fold them over, which is kind of creative. And I've tried vertical on here. Vertical is kind of a harder one to do on here. That's just getting creative, but you can just keep it simple. You can have 2 at the top, fold them over, or just keep it standard, which is 2 at the bottom, which is pretty easy. I'm gonna keep it just pretty straightforward. I'm gonna show you this one. Okay, you already know how to, you know, it's big enough to put, you can put some big coils in here actually. You can put some big coils, but I'm not gonna do the standard way. I'm gonna do these 2. These are pretty more interesting. Okay, but you can fit some big boy coils in here if you want. I just keep it 2.5. You can put some 3s or whatever you want in. Do you know what I mean? But you don't want it too big, because obviously you got to think about the base, the shell as well, how close you want to be. Now the awkward thing is, when you're, let me put this on first. Now, because of the, depends what you want to build, it can vary on airflow as well. So if you're building at the top and fold them over, you most likely are going to get top airflow. Okay, you're most likely going to get top airflow. If you're going to build normally at the bottom on the sides, you're going to get bottom airflow. Or if you just put it like the coils in between this gap between 2 airflows, and if you have it fully open, you are going to get a lot of airflow with it being open. So you're going to get underneath right into your coils and over the top as well. So it can vary. It depends which way you're going to put your coils. You're going to put the coils at the top or the bottom on its side. So you just got to think what you want to do first, and what you want for your airflow as well. If you want top, bottom, or both. Now, I don't use both on this one because both is way too much airflow for me. I'll either use top or bottom. It depends on what I want to build on here. So I'm gonna do a build on this top part. It's gonna speed it up a little bit, quicker process. It can be for the top. It can be a tiny bit tricky, a tad tricky, especially when you're using a fuse clapped on, whether it's like looks like flat wire sort of thing. Yeah, it can be kind of tricky, but if you want to be, you know what I mean, if you want to try and be creative and want to use this top part first, then by all means go for it. The bottom is easier. I've put this out to make it so, because I want to use top airflow, so I want to see how that goes. I'm going to try and use bottom airflow as well, because we're using bottom airflow, it will come right underneath and hit the coils on the underneath. So I'm going to strictly use top airflow because it's going to come directly at the coils itself. So obviously when you put your coils in, I put one coil in, cut them down to size, you know, tweak them up, and then I'll take the other one out, put it on a rod, cut them so it's even, and then put them both in, and then I've folded them over. So nothing too crazy going on here, but there you go. Right, let's see what ohms it is. It's coming out. It's 0.1 on the dot. Jesus. Right, let's carry on. And there you go. So it's all been wicked, juiced and whatnot. So that was the Apex RDA. Another thing just before you go, so when you turn it, see, it closes off one and then closes off the other separately, yeah, and then it opens one and opens the other, yeah. So whatever you adjust on that side will be the same on that side. So for now I'm going to try it as that. Let's I'll put a bit more juice on. Yep. So yeah, Apex RDA. Let's go back up top. Let's vape this, and I'll tell you guys what I think on this.
Yes, so that was the Apex RDA by timesvape. What do I think of this D-Wayne? I don't know where that came from. Just thought I'd do. I think it's pretty alright. I think it's a pretty cool idea. It's not so bad. It's not too bad. The size of the drip tips, I like how you get an extra 2 in the box, and a spare cloth actually. To say, you get the cloth with it. It doesn't matter what colour you get, you're gonna get the cloth anyway. But obviously you're gonna get the better e-liquid on the outside barrel from the airflow. It's gonna, you're gonna see it. It's gonna irritate you. That's what the cloth is there for. That's the only little downside for a matte black, but it is nice. I like the airflow. I like the airflow if it's just set on one of them. either top or bottom. Now that depends on your build, if you want to build from the top or on the sides. Okay, both of it open. Like I'll do it now, fully open, even though I've made the calls for strictly top. But I did say I'm gonna test it, because when the bottom airflow is open, it should just come right underneath. It may just come round it, but underneath. I'm getting nice flavour and decent cloud production, but it's way too much for me. Let's close it back off. Yes, it's a lot, and it's got a bit of a whistle sound as well. Yeah, but it's best just either have it top or bottom. It's entirely up to you, again, on your build. I like the design of it. I like the design of the deck, how you can not just do just a certain set. You can go blitz with it. You can go really creative with your coil build, do you know what I mean, on this deck. So I like the deck. I like the screws as well. It's kind of some fat daddy screws, man. You don't see them screws as much as any standard ones compared to standard. But yeah, I think it's cool. I like that you can drip straight through onto the plate. It'll just go right onto your cotton, and it'll saturate it all, as well as onto your coils as well. It's not a deep enough juice well. I'm really used to like kind of deep juice wells, again, like the drop or the bonzo. But yeah, it's pretty decent. I can't mind it, but it's just the airflow for me. It's got to be one or the other. Let's have another talk. Again, coming up, some fused claptons coming out 0.1 on the dot, and using some wick liquor, the Boulevard. Once again, have another talk. I got this at 75 watts. Let me just re-drip on here just in case. And what we're going to do is just bump it up a little bit. Let's try some. Let's get a warmer flavour. Let's try 85 watts. Let's get to it. There you go. Ooh. Ooh. Quite loud on the airflow. It's still got a bit of a whistle, but not as much as the bottom. Let's try just the bottom alone. It's closer to top, and then the bottom. There you go. I'm getting the tiniest. It's not that much difference, but the tiniest bit difference for flavour. I'm getting a tad more flavour on bottom airflow, just open. Okay, top is still nice enough as well. Let's go back to top. I like how it has the engraving pattern at the top, so it's easier to adjust your airflow as well. I'd still like to put in just some 2 grooves to lock the shell in place, so you don't have to hold the barrel and move it about, because sometimes if I change the airflow, I have to hold the barrel, do you know what I mean? So that's a subjective side, but everything else I think is pretty decent, do you know what I mean? It's not so bad. Price points, you're looking around between £19 and £19 and £25. Okay, so let's just come off of this one. Let's just go, for example, on Grey Haze. On here's £19.54 as well. Oh, I've tried the Squonk as well. It's pretty decent. With the Squonking, it's pretty decent. I just prefer dripping. That's just how I like it on this one. But yeah, £90.54, and you can get it stainless steel. You can get it in a black, 7 colour, gold, and yeah, that's pretty much it for colours. Yeah, I'll put links in the description. you know where to find that. I'll put links for all the advocacy and whatnot, just everything there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a subscribe and a thumbs up. Stay blessed. Thank you very much for that. If it's a thumbs down, let me know why in the comments so I can improve, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, God damn. Peace.